Okay, well, as you can see, it is still dark out here, and there are 4 people in the water. There's a really strong onshore breeze, so even though there's a good swell, it's blown out, and the conditions are kind of messy, don't look so good. So I'm gonna wait till it gets a little more light out here and then decide if I'm gonna go out or not. In the meantime, here's yesterday's session. All right, so honestly, it looks pretty bad, but I'm gonna paddle out anyway, get some exercise, and just, you know, just kind of check it out. Surfing the wave storm as usual, which is very appropriate today because that's basically what we've got out there is a wave storm. It's a complete unordered mess. Okay, so I decided to take a different way home to avoid traffic and went to another surf spot that I always assumed was crowded, and what a difference. See, much cleaner here, much more organized. Well, as you can see, I'm up in San Francisco and I'm going by ARC Gallery, ARC Gallery. I'm participating in a show and I gotta pick up some panels, but I can't find the place. All right, so they're 48 inches by 12 inches, and I believe they're maple. All right, so the idea is that you paint on these panels vertically, and they can be a diptych or they can be each individual pieces. I think I'll probably do something San Francisco related. All right, time for some more show notes where I talk about some of the paintings in my current show at Studio Gallery in San Francisco, which runs from the 10th to the 28th of October, 2019. And the reception is actually tomorrow, Sunday, October 20th from 4 to 6 p.m. It's open to the public, so come on in if you're in the area. There's more details in the description below. There's a link to Studio Gallery's website, and I put some other information down there as well. So check it out. But the paintings I want to talk about are the sunset paintings. I spent a fair amount of time this summer in Southern California, Laguna Beach area, Hollywood, etc. And as you guys probably know, there's like the sky down there. I think it's because of the air quality or the poor air quality. Gets these dramatic sunsets that can be really beautiful. There's 3 sunset paintings in the show, and so I thought I'd talk about them. First one is After the Storm. This was painted in the spring and it's a 16 by 20, and it was started on the beach. When you're doing plein air sunsets, that sun is setting quickly, so I wanted to just capture it as quickly as possible, so I used very strong direct brushwork. I like the look of the breaking waves. Even though it's getting dark, you get that feeling of like sort of the end of the day. You can still see the breaking waves that are kind of like a bluish ultramarine color. And then also I like that strong reflection along the top of the water that leads into the distance. So the next painting I did from a digital image, I was in Hollywood visiting my mom actually, and I was on Gower, I believe. Gower and Franklin, or close to that, for those of you who are in LA. And I was looking west, and so obviously the sun was setting, and I saw these buildings and palm trees all silhouetted, and I thought, wow, that's just such a classic Southern California or Los Angeles look. And so what's happening here basically is the street and the buildings and the palm trees, they were not lit up at all. They were very dark. So I chose to sort of accentuate the blue so that you got the blue and the orange from the sunset, that complement going to kind of help create a feeling of light. All right, and the last painting is an 11 by 14 Laguna sunset. This painting was painted on the beach as well with some touch-ups at home. All right, so just like the other Laguna painting, I was focusing on trying to create a convincing feeling of light by accentuating the blue-orange complements and also the yellow-violet or yellow-purple complements. And then also trying to get some good light reflected off the water as well. All right, so another thing to keep in mind when painting sunsets or when you're painting the sun is oftentimes when you're starting out painting, you'll paint a very defined sort of sun and then the light around it. But what I found is that the difference between the actual sun itself and the surrounding light, you know, you don't want that to be too dramatic. So in other words, it's a very gentle sort of transition into that. Whereas if you have just the sun painted in a really strong, obvious way, it can kind of doesn't work as well. So I kind of experimented with that and made sure that I had that diffusion where the sun was lighting up the surrounding clouds and sky. So anyway, that's it. Those are the 3 sunset paintings that are currently in the show. I'm excited for the reception, so hopefully some of you can make it out, and if so, I will see you tomorrow. But for the rest of you, I will see you here on YouTube in the next video.